All right, guys. So, I ran across a very, very, very disturbing story involving Mr. Matt Gaetz that the left is not going to talk about because it actually involves Matt Gaetz's life being in danger. And, that the liberal media is not interested in actually trying to, stop political violence that comes from a certain side of the aisle. That they're not concerned about that whatsoever, despite what they say. As a Hollywood camera operator was just arrested for allegedly threatening to kill Representative Matt Gaetz. Now, this comes as there seems to be a lot of violence going on in Hollywood, or people that are associated with Hollywood being prone to violence, right? With the whole Alec Baldwin thing going on. And this also comes as I did a story maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago, in which you guys remember there was a couple that tried to sell nuclear secrets in peanut butter jelly sandwiches to foreign adversaries, right? That couple apparently were leftists, right? They supported Black Lives Matter. They were very anti-Trump. And in my opinion, they seem to be radicalized, right? Now, this person right here, after reading this story, it appears that he has been radicalized as well. However, the left-wing media swears up and down that there's no radicalization on the left. There are no radicals on the left that you have to worry about. But like I've been telling you guys, extremism is an issue, right? And it's an issue not just on one side of the aisle, it's an issue on both sides of the aisle. And now we're seeing another story that, in my opinion, outlines the dangers of the current rhetoric coming from the left-wing media that they don't want to take responsibility for. So let's read here about what's going on with Matt Gaetz. Eugene Huelsman, a veteran camera operator who worked on multiple Hollywood television projects, has been arrested in California for allegedly threatening to kill Representative Matt Gaetz. Court records show the arrest comes several months after a federal grand jury indicted the 58-year-old Huelsman in Pensacola, Florida, for threatening to, quote, put a bullet in the congressman and his children in the wake of the Capitol Hill riot on January 6th. Quote, federal prosecutors say that on January 9th, Huelsman called the office of someone described in the indictment solely a MG and issued threats to him and his family, Politico reported on Tuesday. According to the indictment, Huelsman told Gaetz to, quote, watch his back and watch his children. Tell MG to watch his back, tell him to watch his children, Huelsman allegedly said. I'm coming for him. I'm going to effing kill him. I'm going to put a bullet in you, and I'm going to put a bullet in your effing kids too. Wow. That is absolutely terrible, right? Absolutely terrible stuff. Okay. That you would think that the mainstream media, since they care about political violence so much, since they care about radicalization and extremism so much in this country, they will be covering this and talking about this and saying, hey, you know what? This is not okay, right? This is not what we should be doing. This is not why politics should go. But see, they're not going to do that because they truly, really don't care, right? They really don't. You are not going to hear Joy Reid talking about this, right? For as much as you want to talk about January 6th and the so-called domestic terrorists on the right, you're not going to hear her talk about this. CNN will not talk about this. They're not going to. Gaetz confirmed to Politico on Tuesday he was targeted with Huelsman's alleged threats. Last Wednesday, Gaetz accused the Justice Department on the House floor of not taking the death threats against him seriously. Quote, I think someone may be trying to kill me, and if they are successful, I would like my constituents and family to know who stopped their arrest, Gaetz said. Gaetz told Politico that he believes that his criticism of the Justice Department prompted Tuesday's arrest. Quote, an indictment was issued in May and has now been unsealed the week after my criticism, he said. If they took our security seriously, they would arrest all of the people who violate federal law and the threats to kill us, not just some of them. I think that the Department of Justice is biased against Republicans. Hey, look, I'm just saying, the indictment was issued in May. It has been, 4 or 5 months now, and they're just arresting this guy? Again, it seems to me that they're either biased or they're really, really, really backed up and slow at the Justice Department in terms of trying to protect these politicians. Like they should be trying to protect them from political violence. Or who knows, maybe they're only concerned about protecting certain politicians, because we know how fast the politicians move to protect themselves when it came to left-wing politicians, right? When left-wing politicians were perceived to be under attack, Cough, cough, AOC. They put like metal detectors in the Capitol. They put a fence around the Capitol. We heard for days AOC and the squad crying about how they felt like they was in danger and blah, 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 yada, 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 right? They threatened to basically try to take away Congress members' rights to carry inside the Capitol. They did all that stuff. And they made it out to be imminent threat, right? Again, this is the same Justice Department that immediately acted when the school board tried to basically frame parents who are concerned about their children in school as domestic terrorists. So they want to act when it comes to protecting certain people, right, on the side of the aisle. But when it comes to other people on the side of the aisle, nah, they're going to drag ass on it, right? They're going to take all day. But I guarantee you, if this was AOC or Cori Bush or Rashida Tlaib crying about this, they would be acting quick, fast, and hurry if this was a threat against them. Again, mighty strange, mighty strange. According to IMDb, Eugene Huelsman was nominated for 7 Primetime Emmys for his work as a camera operator in television. His credits include NBC's Late Night with Cohen, O'Brien, Netflix's Awake, The $1 Million Game, and Fox's So You Think You Can Dance. Okay, so to me, in my opinion, again, my humble opinion, it seems to me that this guy's been radicalized. And what do you guys think he's been radicalized by? Well, he's been radicalized by the rhetoric coming from the left, comparing January 6th to 9/11, right? Saying that January 6th is literally the worst event to ever happen in this country, and trying to frame anybody who was in D.C. that day or was around or had anything to do with it at all as some type of domestic terrorist and an imminent threat to the fabric of this country, right? When you use that type of rhetoric, when you talk like that, right? And again, this came from the left-wing mainstream media, right? Comparing January 6th to 9/11. You radicalize people, right? You get people like this that think that, hey, I got to take some action, right? These people are just like the people that flew the plane into the Twin Towers. That's what people start to think. But if you listen to the mainstream liberal media talk about it, they'll say, well, no. That's just Newsmax and Fox News. They just the ones that do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. Even though they ran with that January 6th is 9/11 narrative, and they are still continuing to run with it. They're still continuing to run with it. I guarantee you they won't take any responsibility for it. But every time you look, they will start talking about alternative media outlets and saying, well, alternative media outlets is radicalizing people. Facebook is radicalizing people. They will try to demonize these social media companies and big tech for their role in an effort to promote more censorship, but yet they have nothing to say about their role in all this. When they're the ones that are literally broadcasting this type of stuff on cable television, right? To huge audiences. Well, I don't know if you can call them huge audiences anymore, specifically in the case of CNN, but I'm just saying, I really do truly believe that rhetoric from places like CNN, MSNBC lead to this type of stuff, right? Again, that's not me calling for any type of censorship or anything like that. I'm just saying I wish that the left-wing media would acknowledge that, hey, you know what? We are responsible for some radicalization as well, right? Because they love trying to point the finger at everybody else when they're the main ones that's doing it. They're the main ones that's doing it. So I am happy that the Department of Justice actually got on their job and arrested this man in order to help protect Matt Gaetz. And I really do think that they should take these threats against politicians a lot more seriously, particularly when it comes to these Republican politicians, because they do face political violence as well from left-wing extremists, no matter how much the left-wing media wants to pretend like that doesn't happen. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.